So we're in the next part of the References 101 section here, and I've got the drawing Attach Complete open. You need the drawing attach.dwg if you're going to follow along with this video from your working files. Now there's something you'll notice about this drawing. It's kind of fundamentally obvious. The XREFs aren't there. I've deliberately deleted them. I haven't detached them or unloaded them, which we'll cover later. I have physically deleted them from the drawing. Now the first thing we do when we're going to use the attach command is we're going to go to the Home tab on the ribbon and make sure that our layer is set to XREFs, because we always bring in our XREFs on our XREFs layer. I'm then going to go back to the Insert tab on the ribbon, and I'm going to go to the Reference panel, and I'm going to click on Attach. Now this brings up the Attach dialog box, which is classed as Select Reference File. Now what I'm doing here is purely selecting the External Reference Drawing, or XREF. Now we've got two that we're actually going to add to this, which are our footprint foundation and also our topography. I'm going to add the topography first. There's the preview with the contour lines and the cutout where our little footprint foundation is going to sit underneath our building. So I select topography first and I click on Open. That'll then open up another dialog box, which is my Attach External Reference dialog box. There's the name of the drawing. I can still go and browse for another one if I want to. I don't want to in this case. Now, the scale we're going to stick with, which is 1. The insertion point, we're going to leave all of that at 0. Now, I have specifically made sure that these XREFs come in at X, Y, Z equals 0. The path type is going to be a relative path. Now, you've got three choices here. A relative path will always look in the same folder as the current drawing for your XREFs. A full path will actually go and look for a full server path or file path. No path means that AutoCAD will not look for a path and expects to find them in the same folder. So be aware of that when you're working. I tend to work with relative path, and that's the one I'm going to use for this course, and you'll find that all of your XREF drawings are in the same folder as your current drawings. Rotation, you can rotate it if you want to, and you'll notice that we're working in millimeters for this particular course. There's one more thing to look at which I haven't mentioned, reference type. You can have two types of reference, attachment and overlay. Now an attachment means that the reference will show on the drawing as an attachment, but then if you reference again, so you're referencing and referencing, the attachment will stay there and will still be visible. If I selected overlay, if I referenced for a second time and did a reference of a reference, the original XREF will not show. So for the purposes of this course, I'm going to be using attachments to make sure that whenever we reference a reference, it will show. But that's the difference between attachment and overlay there. So once you've got all that set up, scale, insertion point, path type, and so on, you click on OK, and you can see there that my topography has come in. And you can see that it's come in exactly where it should, because I've set that up with the 0, 0 for the X, Y values, as I stated earlier. Now we need to bring in our footprint foundation as well. So I can click on Attach again. There's my footprint foundation. There's the little preview. I click on Open. And you can see there now, footprint foundation. I can still go and look for another one if I want to. Scale again, 1 for X, Y, and Z. Insertion point, scales again, 0, 0, 0. Don't click Specify on Screen like you would an AutoCAD block. It's always good to work with coordinates when you're using XREFs. Same path type, relative path, rotation 0, block unit millimeters, and again I'm using attachment, not overlay. I click on OK again, and you can see that's gone in there. There's the grey going around the building showing the edge of that footprint foundation. So that's how you use the attach command on your reference panel in the ribbon in AutoCAD.